this way just to die?
Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video here today. We're coming at you with a Ordance cache build. And also make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe on this video. And we will get into the build now. So what we are using for this build is we are using the linebacker. This gives you 167 damage radius. So this is just overall very nice. The damage radius is just super duper nice. You want 167 radius. We're using fire because cache is really beneficial with elemental with the setup. So we are using that. This is just for vile enemies. If you come across any vile enemies, this is what you're going to want to use. Or you could use a different ordinance if you'd like to. This is the ordinance I mainly used on this build, what we prefer. And then we're using the Cyclone. We're using the Jacobs and Ripper Cyclone. Now, this is for mobbing if we need it for mobbing. It works really well if you need it for mobbing. If you don't have, say you don't have your ordnance, but you can always refund your ordnance. So it's pretty easy to keep your ordnance up. It is a really slow fire rate gun. So like it is really easy to keep your ordnance up with the skills. And then we're using the Hot Slugger to get rid of windfall stacks and to gain windfall stat crit skill when we don't have it. But it's mostly to proc windfall to get rid of our fortune stacks. So then we can proc our skills again very easily. Then we're using the amp and enrage amplified replicator. Now this is just really nice. This gives you double amp here when we're set up. So there's up kit. Amp really is what I recommend. We're using this Himdall. I recommend getting one in each element, at least the main elements: fire, shock, and corrosive. And then we were using the Deadly Pounder. So head ringer gun with totalized parts, gain 20% damage, 100% damage radius. This one has gun critical damage, shotgun critical damage, and shotgun splash radius. This is just really nice for the linebacker overall. And then we're using the triple amp Guardian Angel. Now this shield is just absolute thing. You pretty much have your cooldown on your shot from your launcher, because it takes so long to actually cool it down. I'll actually be able to shoot again. You have another amp ready to go. And absolutely insane. And then we're using the gamer here. This one has ordnance damage, which I highly recommend picking up on this. The fire has always comes with fire rate, but fire rate's not really that beneficial to this build because we're just not really benefiting from fire rate. It doesn't really this ordnance doesn't benefit from fire rate unless we're using like the cyclone for mobbing or anything like that. And then also I forgot to mention we are using the spread launcher for like ordinate bosses and all that stuff to take out the crystals really easily. This could also be used too because this does splash damage, so this is a option. This Himdall does not do any kind of splash damage, so it does not take out the crystals. And then we are using 4 in fast hands. Now you get reload speed up to 24%, windfall chance of the 1.2% chance, which is really nice. We're using 5 in insurance. So you get shield capacity, recharge rate, and shield recharge delay, which is just really nice because this gives us more recharge rate and shield recharge delay. We're using 5 in splash spot, so we get 25% more ordnance damage. Now this does double while your windfall is active, but as the current skill points goes, we don't have any super easy way to proc windfall with this setup currently. How I want to run it and how it works the best, how I've tried it so far. And then we're using 1 in alchemy, so we get easy fortune stacks. Then we're using late scratch. Whenever Cash attempts windfall, fails, he gains a fortune stack. Then we're using 5 in kill button, so we up to 45% ordnance damage on fortune skill. The more max Cash has, the greater the bonus. So this is just really nice. We got 3 in payout, gives you 25% more fortune skills, and gives you fortune skills bonuses. So this is just really nice. We put 5 in tender hearts. We get 80% more critical damage, and this gives you action skill critical damage during windfall, but it doesn't really matter with that. Then we're using the hot streak, so you get 25% more critical damage. Nice. Then for the skill tree, we are using 5 in your huckleberry, so we get 20% more critical damage. 5 in shootist, we get 25% more gun damage. 5 in standing bleed, so we get 10% more crit chance. 5 in lawless, so we get bonus kinetic damage. More kinetic damage, and then we're using 2 in truck full of nitro, so we get down the tree. This is just bonus damage, so this is not a whole lot of extra damage. And then we're using 3 in war wagon, get ammo refilled chance, and then you get ammo fill current mag, and then it gives you action skill duration restored too. But we're not using action skill duration, so action skill really. So, and then we're using nothing lead beats. This is just really, really nice. It converts a portion of all non-bonus elemental cash skills, convert it into kinetic damage. Converted is increased this way, and this gives you converted damage increase of 75%, which is a lot of increased damage, which is very, very nice. Now for the specializations, we are using riddle you this where you get gun damage of percent stack if you're using like the linebacker against blue crystals because you kind of need it. So this is just really nice for that. And then we're using tripwire, so you get ordnance cooldown. Whenever you activate your action skill, you get ordnance cooldown, which is really nice. Full spectrum, arsenal, ordnance damage because it uses the gun damage. And then we're using fragment payload, ordnance critical hit chance, and critical hit damage, which is really nice. So, say you shoot off all your shots, you don't have your ordnance no more, like this. It's gone. Pop your action skill, you pop it again, you pop it again. You almost got your ordnance back, which is really nice. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.